EVO.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Finding Me. I am Josh Wolf. This is episode 16. This is a daily journal / podcast where I'm doing to help hold myself accountable and talk authentically about the things that I want to talk about. And I know that last week the theme was health, and I took you on my mold journey. And this week I was going to do insecurities. I was going to hit my top 5 insecurities of every day. But if this is truly a journal, which it is, I have to also talk about what's going on in my life and things that are affecting me and how I'm feeling. And look, I don't talk politics because I don't know anything about politics. So I've made that pretty clear. And I am a person who loves the fact that we agree. Some things you have to agree to disagree on, but you have to have the conversation. And I think there's a place to agree to disagree about almost everything in politics, because there should be two sides. But I'm going to tell you what there aren't two sides to, and that is murder and pedophilia. And those are two things that somehow there is a percentage of our people in our country who have somehow justified these two things to being okay. There's no reason that we shouldn't have a look at everybody on the Epstein files. You hear me saying everybody, right? It could be Trump, Clinton, I don't care. If you fuck kids, you go to jail. So the fact that somehow our government is protecting a group of people who had sex with children is bananas. Not sure how you defend it. And the fact that, and I guess they're federal agents, but the fact that Americans are being shot in cold blood, is windows being broken in cars, people busting into houses, arresting people, dropping their kids off at school, kids getting detained. The escalation is purposeful and frightening and so un-American. And it's a bummer that we are at a spot where there's a huge percentage of people that are just going to justify anything that this administration does. And I would say that anybody who justifies anything that one person does, that is the definition of a cult. One of the reasons I like having good friends and family is because they hold me accountable. If I do something, they tell me. I'm not going to listen to people I don't know. The people who have huge responsibility to help change things are the people closest to the situation, the people on that team, the people on that side. And those generally are the people that have the most influence to make change. So there's nothing wrong. Look, if you can want strict immigration and people deported, I don't think you're going to find a whole lot of people arguing about getting rid of dangerous criminals. What's happening now in Minneapolis is fear tactic, bullying, un-American, unlawful shit. Unlawful. Whether the guy had a gun or not, it's an open carry state and he had a permit. Whether the guy had a gun or not isn't an issue. It shouldn't be an issue. He was on his stomach with 9 people on top of him, and they had taken the gun before they shot him. Even if he was going for his gun. Let's just say he was. He was on his stomach. His gun, you could see it in the video, was at 6 o'clock in his. So even if he was going for it with 8 people on top of it, on top of him, there's just no justification for it. There's no justification for a woman being shot in the face 3 times. There just isn't. And so if you want this group of people running around, they also need to be accountable like other officers are. If this dude, so many people I know voted for this guy because they were like, he's going to protect kids. Oh, okay. From transgender people, right? We're protecting kids from, but that's not I don't know what the stats are exactly, but I mean, if you really want to protect your kids, I think the stats would tell you to keep them out of church and away from family functions, not from transgender people. It's like a lot of, we're, we're excusing bad behavior. And this is bad behavior isn't even like beginning to describe it. We used to always disagree on politics, taxes, health insurance, minimum wage. These are all things that we're going to disagree on. And that's okay. But we can't disagree on our Constitution and the law. And we can't have masked people who haven't been trained with guns shooting people in the streets of America. And I know that the stick to comedy people and all that is like, you're not saying that it like, do you know what I mean? You're not saying that to, I don't know, Adam Carolla, because you agree with him. So you don't want people to stick to comedy. You just want people to stick to comedy or talk about the things that you like. And I think the stick to comedy thing is something that I've really tried to do when it comes to politics. Because, like I said, it's all opinion. Murder and pedophilia should not be opinion. I'm not sure how those aren't hard lines in the sand for everybody. And like I said, you can want strict crackdown on immigrants. That's fine. I mean, again, it's something we can have a discussion on. Me personally, I was okay with making a tough crackdown on the border and rethinking how we were letting people into the country. But and just to be clear, I did not vote for this guy. I know because I haven't spoke up about it that like some people are like, well, I did not vote for this guy. I do not like bullies. I do not like fake tough guys. I just don't. And so, and I've heard enough stories from him about him pre-politics from people in the business to know that's not the type of dude that I get down with. But there's been a lot of politicians I don't get down with. But if you look at this, he is an agent of chaos. So he floods the zone with chaos to distract. And I'm not even talking about look, dude, I think most politicians line their pockets. This guy has done it to a crazy extent. But I don't think anybody would say, a crooked politician is un-American. I think a crooked politician is pretty worldwide for a lot of people. The murder in the streets, the masked untrained agents who basically have been given a free pass to do whatever the fuck they want is so unlawful and so un-American. And the fact that we have a fucking list of pedophiles that all we would need to do is say, here you go. But to say there's a million pages and there's no pages, we don't have anything, and now there's a million pages again, and redacted, and now this picture's missing. Hey, this is not okay, guys. And as much as I want to just entertain, because I know a lot of people, including myself, need breaks, I just want to make it very clear. We are teetering on losing this country. There's no doubt. We are teetering on it because the violence and the retribution against anybody who speaks out, reporters getting bear sprayed, dude, bear sprayed with bear mace behind the press line. I saw a whole thing. People on the ground with ICE agents on top of them and then putting the bear spray this far and spraying their face. It's crazy. It's not the job of the protester not to get shot. It's the job of the professionals not to escalate. And these fucking guys are escalating. And I think every one of them should have to sit mask off in a trial. Every fucking one of them. It's bad. I'll get back to it tomorrow, I hope. The insecurities. But I want you to know, as somebody who feels a ton of empathy and for other people, I watch what's happening in Minneapolis, and I love that fucking city. And I love those people. And it's heartbreaking. And it's even more heartbreaking to see other Americans cheer it on. It's crazy to me to see the Hispanic and the Black and the Asian ICE agents. I just want you to know, man, when they stop rounding up the other brown people, I would look over your shoulder. It's terrible. And I think we got to figure out a way to get back to normal discourse. But at this point, people are so angry and just agitators. I don't know how it's going to happen. We need somebody at the top who isn't pushing chaos all the time. If you look at the last 4 years that he was in and this year, the whole country was tense and chaos. You may not like Biden, and he may have been asleep a lot, but him being asleep, it was a pretty calm country. Yeah. All right. I'll get back to it tomorrow. You can save your "I'm unfollowing you, stick to comedy," because I don't give a shit. What I give more of a shit about is that I know that I'm standing on the right side of this. This isn't Republican or Democrat. I've voted for both. I really have. I'm 100% best candidate wins. This dude is a cancer. And the pedophilia and the murder, I'm not sure how you stand on that side. I'm not sure how we have people so brave to walk into public and do Heil Hitler, to have those right-wing influencers in a nightclub in Miami doing Sig Heils and feeling comfortable. That's where we're at in this country. People feel comfortable to praise Hitler publicly. And I don't think everyone on the right is a Nazi, but I know that the Nazis are on the right. Now, I know the left has some loonies too. And I'm square in the middle. But when I look at the loonies on the left and the Nazis on the right, if I had to choose, I'm taking the loonies on the left. Because when the loonies on the left were in charge, this is not what we see. So, it's a bummer. This is Finding Me. I'll see you guys tomorrow.